Hello, and welcome to Maya Tome. I'm Tiana,
I'm Elizabeth.
and this is where we read Japanese dating sims and visual novels. Yeah. So putting out a PSA here that we're going to be changing our times of upload. So we're no longer going to be uploading on Tuesday. I'm going to be uploading on Thursdays instead now. And also, we're going to be on a 2-week break after we finish Bought by the Baddest Bidder, just to give time for everybody to decompress. I mean, you guys probably have already decompressed from these whole storylines anyways, because we took a 2-week break.
Yeah.
But that was because Liz was sick.
Yippee!
But yeah, I need to decompress. I'm tired of these stories. I'm tired of these men. I want to go on to better men. But yeah, decompressed for like 2 weeks. And then we'll start with Roses and the Bride, Tangled in the... It's a story. It's a story where basically you're bought again. But better.
We seem to really gear towards being bought right now.
Well, I was trying to keep up a theme.
Yeah, okay.
That one is so much better because, I mean, it's time appropriate. You're in like the 1900s, early 1900s.
Compared to the modern world.
Yeah. Because it doesn't work out very well in the modern world where you're sold and it's just like...
Yeah.
At least I have an excuse. It's the 1900s. What am I supposed to do? I'm a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to grasp at straws to excuse certain men.
Yeah. All the men are better anyways, too. They treat you like a human being.
How does that mean? In the 1900s, they treat you better and treat you like a human being compared to men from the modern world.
I don't know. But yeah, so we're still doing Kiss by the Baddest Bidder, of course. And we are doing Mamoru's main story today. Yay! I consider this a love letter to red pill guys who want to date young women. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm also pretty sure in this story in particular, you're younger than you are in the other stories.
Excuse me?
Because it does drop that information that it's like your first year working at the hotel. And it's been like your dream job to work here. So I'm pretty sure you're younger than you are in the other stories. Because in the other stories, you're older than Ota.
Wait, so if it's your first year, are you younger than Ota?
Pretty sure you are. But this is just speculation on my part.
You know what? Mamoru is really playing that Drake card right now.
Speculation on my part, but at the same time, it's kind of sounding like it. You were already 25-ish in the other story, so...
Yeah, so if you're younger than that... My gosh. What is... Okay.
And even then, even in freaking Baba's story, at least you guys were mentally the same age.
Instead of someone who, up until now, it's probably the same, but he's seen you as a child in all the other storylines.
Yeah. Also, I didn't do his point of view because, I did not want to read his point of view. I was a little too creeped out by just how the storyline was going to even want to read it.
Yeah, I don't blame you, because I don't want to see that switch to pervertedness. Or pedophilia.
It just, like, I won't, like, there's this one story called After School Affairs where I won't read one of the storylines because you're a teacher, and there's one storyline where the student wants to get with you. He's 18, but still your student. Yeah, no. We don't condone that here.
No.
I wish they wrote Mamoru's story better. He could have been... He's also generic.
He had so much potential, though.
Yeah. But anyways, chapter 1. So, you pick Mamoru because you think he's safe due to being a detective, despite not looking reliable.
Him hanging around all the other guys whilst being a detective isn't a red flag?
Yeah, I mean, a cop is a red flag to me anyways, but whatever. So, Mamoru does not want to take you, and Baba and Ota just decide to force you into Mamoru's room instead.
Sounds like Baba and Ota.
Yeah. You ask if Mamoru should allow the auctions as a detective and talk about basic human rights. Mamoru's response is, I just work here. That's not his job to handle all that.
I mean, if he's right, then he's right. I mean, like,
He is right. So you decide to just try to walk out since it seems like Mamoru doesn't care. Mamoru stomps up behind you and opens the door and threatens to arrest Baba and Ota for peeping. Yeah.
arrest.
Yeah, it's a weird situation where you're trying to walk out the door and then Baba and Ota are on the door listening in, so you think he's coming after you. No, Mamoru just doesn't care.
Okay. I mean, that tracks.
Yeah, Mamoru doesn't care if you run away, and he tells you if you leave, you'll go to hell. You'll go to hell if you leave and piss the others off, and then he goes to bed.
What the hell is this fear of God tactic?
I don't know. I said this is a Christian red pill love letter.
Yeah. Just, wow. Okay.
So Mamoru wakes up the next morning and you start screaming because he's a strange man. And Mamoru's like, dude, you were just sleeping soundly. How am I the problem here when you slept in this room knowing I'm in here?
Yeah.
And then he tells you you're brave sleeping in a strange man's room, or either you're just a kid. Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, I wouldn't sleep in a man's room who just fought me, but, teach his own.
Yeah. Not only that, but I wouldn't sleep in a man's room who told me I was going to hell. Like, I'd leave. Okay. Starting off strong, I suppose.
Yeah. So you asked to go to work, and Mamoru thinks you're crazy and wonders why a hotel maid was upset for auction. I mean, at least somebody asked that question.
Yeah.
You tell Mamoru how you ended up in the auction, and Mamoru tells you that it was your fault that you ended up there. Where am I at? Yeah, it's your fault that you're in that position, and then he tells you to go to work. Which, that's what we've been saying this whole time. It's your fault you ended up in the auction.
Mm-hmm. He's the only one telling the truth about it. Because, like, it was her own idiocy that got her there.
And we're not victim blaming. She could have just went back to work.
Instead, she followed a strange man down a random hallway. I think that's how it went.
Yeah, and then got caught by Mamoru, and then ran into a closet,
and then broke
the base,
and then got in trouble. Honestly, there were so many choices that she could have made to avoid that happening.
Exactly.
Like, nobody should be bought and sold. Let's put that out there. However, she put herself in that situation.
It was her fault. Glad somebody said it.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, she's lucky she's not dead.
True.
Because they could have just...
Could have been worse men.
Exactly.
Even though they're not the greatest anyways, but, whatever. You try to say you don't have to come back because you're a pain in his ass, and he's like, nah, fam, this isn't a get out of jail free card. Going to work doesn't mean you can't not come back.
Mm-hmm.
And just because I say you're a pain in my ass doesn't mean you can leave and just not come back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know why you would say that. That's just...
It's dumb. So for her thus far. Like, all the other routes, she probably wouldn't ever say something like that. And now she's just sitting here and being like, I'm a pain in your ass, so I'm leaving.
Yeah. And then he also tells you that he has no idea what's going to happen to you because he's not interested in you at all.
Good.
You tell him you're an adult, and he says, which part of you? And then he tells you have no sex appeal. You question if Mamoru is actually a detective, and then you start asking questions about the auction. And Mamoru's like, it's some rich people shit.
I mean, it is. That's exactly what it is.
And then for some reason, you decide to bring up how you never heard about it before. And Mamoru tells you, no shit. It's a secret.
I'm loving Mamoru. I'm loving him. And now I have to remind myself where this story is going.
Yeah, his dialogue is great.
Yeah.
It's just the story overall.
Yeah, that's the issue.
So, Mamoru tells you that the owner oversees the whole auction, and you're surprised about Isaac being the CEO. I don't know.
Why
I don't know how
do you work somewhere? Why? If it's your dream job and you just got it as your dream job, how do you not know who owns it?
The thing is, working at that particular hotel is her dream job. It's not even working at a hotel. It's that particular hotel.
How do you not know?
Bruh, I don't know.
Girl is just dumb.
So the hotel you dreamed of working at has been tainted in your mind.
Womp womp.
Remember his last name? I think his last name is Kishi. Or either that's his first name. I keep going back and forth between the names when I wrote it down because it goes back and forth in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I end up going back and forth. So he tells you to ask someone else if you have any more questions about like all of this, and then warns you don't mess with Isaac and Soru, and just avoid them. And then he goes to sleep.
He just woke up.
Yeah.
He's on that grind for sleep. That
sounds like to be for real.
Yeah.
So you go to your staff meeting that morning and you're depressed over everything. So you're spaced out and depressed as you work the IVC, and Sekio starts asking you questions about like where were you at? Why did you disappear? Suddenly, someone threatens a person with a knife. Chaos ensues, and Baba pops up beside you, all casually asking you how you slept. And then Ota and Isaac come over and kind of just chat you up and chat Baba up like there's not a dude with a knife trying to stab everybody.
Okay. That's interesting.
So then Isaac's like, this is getting kind of boring, and this is causing me problems. Time to put Mamoru to work.
Wow. I love how his first, the first thing that got him to be like, okay, yeah, maybe he should be arrested, isn't because he's just threatening to stab people and has a knife in his hand. No. It's because it's boring, Isaac.
And it's also bad for business.
Yeah. That's where his priorities lie. His personal feelings and money.
Yeah. So, Knife Dude runs straight at you. You freeze up. Isaac pulls you out of the way, and Mamoru catches the guy. The funny thing is, Isaac is still subtly being like the best guy ever in everybody else's stories.
He really is. And it's like, Isaac, what are you doing?
Like, why do you have these random moments where you save my life and, like, help me?
Exactly. And then go right back to being like, you're boring, you're annoying, I don't want you here. Leave me alone.
So, episode 2. Apparently the attacker attacked because an actress ruined his life and she didn't like him.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the people who... Wait. I skipped a line. You thought Mamoru was trying to save you, but he did it for the auctions. He didn't really do it for you. Which was obvious, but,
Yeah. Otherwise, man would not have gotten out of bed.
No. So, the people who sold you aid wants to take you back. I don't know why they're called aid. That's not a name I would have used.
Me neither.
But they're called aid. So, they are a new age religious cult, and their leader, and their leader filed a complaint saying you weren't intended to be sold, so the sale is invalid and they want to take you back. Yep. If you ever had a story to make you feel like you're actually an item, property, this is the one.
How nice. How pleasant.
So the details weren't explained to the cult leader well about like how you got sold. Soru doesn't want to give you back because it goes against the auction principles, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells Isaac if you made exceptions now, everyone will ask for one.
Mm-hmm.
Logic.
Mm-hmm.
You think you would be freed if you agree to nix the auction and like do what the cult says because you're dumb.
Going to be free by going to a cult, a religious cult.
The thing is, you think that the cult's not gonna take you back.
They're literally
You think
that they want to take you back.
You think that if the sale is like nixed, that means you get to go back to working as a maid and you're just free. Not that the cult's going to take you.
Your level of stupidity has somehow risen.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but it has.
So the auction rules state that there are no returns or withdrawals. Mamoru is all for revoking the sale, and Isaac respects Mamoru's wishes because you're his item. He paid for you.
Sorry.
Mamoru thinks you're not worth fighting them for, and Baba reminds them you know about the auctions, and you start promising that you won't tell anybody, but nobody really believes that. I wouldn't believe it.
I wouldn't either.
Sora tells you to shut up and don't speak without permission. And then Mamoru states that he's not letting you go. He wants to return you to Cinder, so you would be going to Aid. And then they'll deal with you. And you're just now realizing that's what his plan was. That you're not just being freed, you're being returned.
It took you that long.
You're confused, and you get told to shut up again.
Woo!
Mamoru explains that they can save face, and you get imprisoned by a cult. So there's no need to, keep the auctions a secret, because you're in a cult. Who you're gonna tell?
The other cult members who already know?
In the end, Isaac does as Mamoru wants, because he's like, you're the winner, and you're Mamoru's property, so...
Wow.
You tell them that you can't go to the cult because people are gonna worry about you. So Isaac calls the manager, and he's like, yeah, so she's gonna take a leave of absence, and to tell people that you're going back home to your parents. And you're stunned.
Why are you stunned? I don't understand. Okay. After everything that just happened, that's what stuns you?
I don't know. You just got sold back to a cult. And that's the thing that's bothering you. But yeah. So Mamoru follows you back to your dorm to get your things, just in case you try to run. And Mamoru calls you a good girl, because you don't run.
Yay.
I can't feel happy about this.
I can't either, not when he sees you as a child.
So, Mamoru doesn't even know where they're gonna take you, and you think it's irresponsible for him not to know. And I'm just here like, it's a cult. Why would he know?
There's no way for him to know.
Mamoru explains that only 8 members know where the compound is. You ask if Mamoru has a duty to protect the people or integrity, and he says no. And tells you that he would be thrilled if Aid takes you, because that means you're no longer his problem.
His dialogue is amazing. I wish. Yeah.
So, Mamoru just goes through all your shit and then reminds you that you ain't it for him. You ain't doing it for him. And then he gets serious and asks you if you would prefer to be in the penthouse and under house arrest, or if the cult was better. Yeah, because, for some reason you thought when he was looking through your bag that he was just trying to go through your clothes. So Home Dude has to remind you for the 50th time he's not interested in you. You're a child. So immediately after immediately after that, he tells you that Aid is involved with the Yakuza while cupping your face and holding your face close. Yeah. So Aid comes to pick you up. You are now Sister Adachi. Well, because the name I use is Reina Adachi, so yeah. You are now Sister Adachi, and you get to meet Reverend Ada, and you're kind of already suspicious of the cult leader, because you're like, this man is kind of weird.
All of them are. Have you not seen any documentaries? Charles Manson, Jim Jones, any other. They're all weird.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. Why did I forget about him?
Because he's still in movies.
You're right. He's one of the easier ones to forget than the other ones who have either died or been arrested.
Yeah. So, episode 3. You learn the doctrines of Aid, and you learn that they're also based on love, and you must love everyone.
Yeah.
You can already see how this is in a weird place.
Yeah.
So they take in minors from troubled homes or have been hurt and bullied, and they hope that you'll become an apostle of love one day.
It's giving keep sweet and obey.
You're just glad the Reverend isn't as scary as the penthouse guys.
The
Yeah.
minors becoming an apostle of love isn't a red flag for you?
I mean, I would prefer penthouse guys over the dude who's faking being nice, and you don't know what he's playing at, but
Yeah.
yeah, she chose her battle and she chose to trust this man, but whatever.
She chose wrong.
So you get a tour, huh?
I was gonna say there's a few nuts loose in her brain or something, because...
I mean, yeah. So you get a tour of your new home, and you're wondering if you're gonna get brainwashed. Of course you are, but... And then the goal is to train children and guide them to the right path.
Gosh,
Yeah.
all CCD classes are just swarming in right now.
You have a specific and strict schedule you're not allowed to deviate from. And in the middle of the night, Mamoru breaks into your room through the window and quickly shuts you up.
Okay, good.
Because you thought Mamoru was not going to be in the story? No.
No.
He's your love interest.
Mm-hmm.
So Mamoru tells you that he followed you and you think he's here to rescue you. And he straight up tells you, no, I'm not here to rescue you. And he came to see the location of the compound.
See, that makes so much more sense than him coming to rescue you. Especially when he straight up told you he wasn't saving you when it came to the knife guy.
Yeah.
Like, if he's not planning on saving you in a near-death situation, what makes you think he's saving you now?
What makes you think he's going to save you from a cult?
Exactly.
So, Mamoru had put a GPS tracker in your bag when he was going through your stuff, which that would have been the obvious to me, considering him and the fact that he said he's not interested in you. Like, why the heck else would he be in your bag?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it turns out Aid is a part of a case that Mamoru is working on, and you were used as bait to find the headquarters.
Nice.
Mamoru says he's going to put you to work since he paid 20 million for you. And you tell Mamoru he has no honor as a detective, and he's like, I don't give a shit.
Props to him.
Because
Wait a minute. They wanted her back, but didn't want to give back the money they got for her?
No.
And they thought they were going to get off easy? Okay. Okay. I don't know anybody who's spending like 20 million on a person and then being like, yeah, just take her.
So, because you're so loud, the man who picked you up shows up, and that his name is not Nanio. And he comes in, he gets mad seeing Mamoru, and then the guards come in and tie up Mamoru, and then they take him to the Reverend. Yay! So, while you're at the Reverend, Mamoru is looking at you for help. But you turn away from him because you're mad he wasn't planning to save you and was trying to use you.
You chose to go.
Like, you wanted to go here.
You were on top of it. You were like, let me go. Let me go. I want to go.
Don't be mad when you're here now.
Exactly.
So, Mamoru starts screaming your name and started proclaiming he needs you and begging you not to leave him, and then pulls you into a hug. You try to slap him and he starts going on about how he doesn't blame you for being mad and pulls some Isaac bullshit saying that he thought he didn't need to say it. I got flashbacks from when Isaac was like, I thought I didn't need to say I love you.
Yep. My god. Mamoru's one great actor. Let's give props to that. He deserves an Oscar right now.
You're confused, and Mamoru whispers for you to shut up and play along. So they end up thinking Mamoru is your boyfriend, and you try to object. But Mamoru stops you, and you're mad that you have to play along now.
You got him in this situation.
Aren't you the one who wanted to be free?
Mm-hmm. You put yourself in this situation, and then put him in this situation. This is your fault.
You guys aren't punished because of your love. Mamoru admits to putting a tracker on you, but he says it was in your body, and he did it because he wants to never leave your side. And Ada is just loving this.
Ada?
A lot.
Where would he put it in her body?
Oh, you're realizing now that your instincts were right, It is a weirdo. Yeah, you're just not realizing he's a weirdo. God forbid he didn't kill you.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ada wants to make Mamoru an apostle of love because he's full of love. And now Mamoru is staying with you. Episode 4.
Yay!
So, Mamoru go back to the room, and Mamoru is just glad that he can smoke here, while you're flabbergasted. Mamoru came with no plan. And Mamoru is also mad that you're complaining that now you have to share a room with him and cohabitate, which, I mean,
you were
already going to do that in the first place, but whatever.
Jeez.
So, Mamoru does promise you that he's going to get you out if shit hits the fan, but you gotta play along as his girlfriend. And he tells you to call him Kishi, by his first name. That is his first name, damn.
Wow.
So, you vent at Mamoru for ruining your life and putting you in a cult. And Mamoru asks if you'll be anxious with him by your side, and Mamoru is like, I'll count sheep for you, so you can go to bed. Go to sleep, child.
He's over here like, I'll read you a story, just go to sleep.
While you're over here like, you ruined my life. No, you ruined your life.
Mm-hmm. You made the decisions up until this point.
You wanted to go to the cult.
And then you expected him to save you. Girl, you chose to go.
Like, you already know these people will take your first choice answer as, like, law.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care. So, yeah. Then you tell him that you're not a kid. And he's like, you don't shut up and you have no sex appeal, so you're a kid. And then he gets in bed with you and, reminds you he's not interested in you. And you're upset with how blunt he is.
That's not the first time he's... Okay.
Yeah. So then Mamoru realizes that you don't trust him and and he hasn't done anything to actually gain your trust, and neither of you. So you both just don't trust each other. And the next morning you wake up to Mamoru holding you. You freak out, and Mamoru thinks you're warm and comfy and claims only children can be that warm without a fever.
Okay then. Alright.
You kick Mamoru out of bed and ask if he did anything to you. And Mamoru tells you that little kids shouldn't worry about that.
Well, if you look at the world today, and you look at the men in this world today...
Everyone's a kid diddler today.
Exactly.
And then he tells you that you need to learn how to seduce him before he can even consider you. Yeah.
It's not the fact that he has to learn not to look at you as a child before he can...
A few days later, you get in trouble because Mamoru's not going to class. And you learn about the discovery of love. So, the discovery of love is the day you are born again, and it happens to be one of the apostles who chooses you. And you just kind of ignore this information, which means you're going to be the next... It's going to be...
Yeah.
It's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Because every time you ignore important information, it has to deal with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys are in your fencing class, and Mamoru gets beaten up while fencing a child. And he pretends to sprain his ankle to get out of class.
Dang. Okay.
About 30 minutes go by, you're set to go find Kishi. And when you do find him, he had just come out the shower. So you start yelling at him, which only makes him grab you and press your face against his chest to quiet you.
Why not just...
I don't know. You hear Mamoru's phone going off, and then you start throwing a tantrum about how it's not fair he gets to have his phone, while yours is confiscated.
Clearly, he hit his phone, you idiot.
Yeah. Then you ask Mamoru what he's investigating, and of course Mamoru doesn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
That's like literal police investigation, but, it's a police investigation, why would he tell you?
Exactly.
You think he's being stingy for not telling you despite him getting you into this situation. 5. So the one class Mamoru shows up for, it is in charge. You start thinking the cult teachings aren't that bad, because the teachings are also rooted in compassion and cooperation. This is what I was telling about. You are prime.
You are exactly what a cult wants.
You are the type of person the cult needs.
Mm-hmm.
If Mamoru wasn't here, you'd be done for.
Mm-hmm. You'd be long gone.
Like anybody, I will reiterate this: anybody can be seduced by a cult,
Mm-hmm.
but
there are some people who have more of a capacity to be seduced by a cult.
Exactly, and that's you.
What? No. Okay.
No, not you. You.
Not me, but other you.
Me.
Yeah.
So you think everyone is nice and despite the rules. And now you're starting to think Kishi is wrong about the cult being dangerous. Yeah, you've gotten there. You're not even at the halfway point. You're at 75%.
Yeah. With one class.
Yeah. And you've been there like a week.
It's only been a week?
Yes. And you're that deep in.
Jeez.
So Ada says that Mamoru is the apostle and closest to him. He's the apostle that's like almost at the level as Ada himself because of his love for you. And then Ada also asks you guys to demonstrate your love for the class by kissing. And your love will close out the special lecture. So you start freaking out because you think you have to kiss Mamoru, and Mamoru just kisses you on the forehead. It makes an excuse about not being able to stop himself if he kisses you. And then Reverend Ada says he has high hopes for you. You in particular. Yeah. Wants you to be an apostle of love. So when class is over, yeah.
It's really giving, like, the cult leaders who have, like, a menagerie of women. Is menagerie the right word?
I think so.
Of women just, like, lined up. And they just pick which ones they want.
I'm still confused on why you're so appealing to everybody. What is it about you?
I don't know. Like, clearly you don't have love if you keep complaining and causing issues and fighting Mamoru.
What about you does even the cult leader want?
Your idiocy. Your empty brain.
So yeah, after class, Mamoru straight up asks Ada about the auctions, and Mamoru's like, hey, yeah, I'm a participant of the auctions too. And I kind of want to quit because, I mean, like, the price is, like, overwhelmingly high. And then Ada's like, you can get a cheaper price if you go in as a seller. And then there are ways you can find things to sell at the auctions too. So that night, Mamoru's having a nightmare, and he calls out to someone named Minami, which is assumed to be a traditional girl's name, because you think it's a girl. This is gonna start off like the whole you being jealous of a dead girl. Yeah. You ask Kishi about the case again, and you use the fact that he found the compound because of you as a reason for him to tell you, which he's like, okay, fine, whatever. So he tells you that his partner died 4 years ago. You're surprised.
Why are you surprised? He's always alone.
He's also a police officer, like...
Exactly.
Yeah. So they were investigating aid, and it turns out that the cult is also a crime organization that forces minors into prostitution and theft. Are we surprised? No. I mean, you're surprised, but you thought everything was good.
You thought the cult was amazing.
So Minami found out about the business deal that the 8 leader made. Right before they made the arrest, Minami died in an unnatural accident. So Mamoru decided that he's going to vow for revenge for Minami and will do whatever it takes. Mamoru thinks / knows Aid got the information from on the police investigation in the black market auctions. So he became an auction sponsor for his quest for revenge, and he admits to being worried about you and realize he does have integrity and is more mature than you, obviously.
He's okay.
This is why I said his story is kind of boring.
Yeah, and I don't know where you could have thought that he wasn't more mature than you.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, his stories
as examples of immaturity.
Yeah. This is why, like, the whole revenge storyline plot, boring.
Yeah.
Like, my friend died 4 years ago, I want revenge. I mean, they could have made it cool, but if they stick to the whole cult thing, it would have been better, but the cult's just a side storyline.
Yeah, the cult is really just a cover. Which, who runs a cult as their cover business?
Dumb people?
Yeah.
Because a cult is a cover for a crime organization, which, I mean, they're both bad?
Exactly. I mean, most people, when they do stuff like that, they go into businesses where they can money launder.
So, you were chosen for the discovery of love. But of course, you forgot about it because it didn't concern you at the time. Yep. So you're taken to a bedroom. Rev Ada comes in and touches your cheek, compliments your skin, hugs your body while burying his face in your neck, and then he pushes you on the bed and he tells you he's going to fill you up with love now. Episode 6. So Ada's a whole creep, and he likes women who resist slowly and slowly give up. And he doesn't care that you're with Mamoru because the ultimate love is loving many people. He thinks you'll be kinky because you look innocent and there are guards are outside when Mamoru breaks in. And instead of like getting upset that Mamoru came in, Ada offers a threesome. And you honestly think Mamoru is going to agree to that.
What the hell?
You need a second to process everything.
I think I do. What? My gosh. I don't even know. Like, I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. But the extensivity of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
And I shortened it.
You poor thing. Oh my god.
Yeah. There was a lot more said. I just shortened that shit and was like, why? Was this necessary?
It was not.
Yeah. So Mamoru beats Ada unconscious with a sword. And obviously, the cult is just there to help cover for Ada's sick fantasies. You ask Mamoru if he came to save you, and he's like, why else would I be here?
Why even ask that? If he... Okay, like, I get it, like, before you thought he was saving you. But in this instance, why else would he show up?
Like, you're literally the only one in this room. And he's risking his whole investigation on this. But, okay, whatever. So, Mamoru lost up fencing on purpose to steal a sword. And Mamoru truly believes that you are not ready for sex. That you are just like a child.
And that's why he saved you?
And then he tells you that he tells you that he's actually been working this whole time and knew about the ceremony this whole time. And he didn't tell you about it because he was like, yeah, I didn't think you would be picked. And when you did get picked, he immediately came running to get you. Which I would have never thought you would have been picked either. That would have been the first thing to come to mind. Also, I would have thought you would have listened in class, but...
Especially since you were starting to believe everything.
And they explained what goes on in class, but whatever. You're just priming for a cult life, whatever.
Yep.
So, Mamoru was out because he was trying to search Ada's room, but now you guys kind of have to leave the compound. You start blaming Mamoru again for putting you in here, but you did want him to save you. And Mamoru plans on staying in the compound because he still wants info on Manami's killer, and you try to convince him to stop because it's dangerous, and Mamoru's like, sorry for getting you involved, but deuces. Mamoru calls you out for getting upset about him, basically freeing you, and calls you selfish for not leaving. He's like, get out of here, go on, boy.
So you don't... Now that you're finally actually getting freed, you're like, I don't wanna go.
Yeah. So you part ways and wait for Detective Kuroshima, but when you hear sirens, you go back to the compound, and you see Ada pounding on his bedroom door because Kishi locked him out. So Ada gets into the room, and you hear a gunshot go off. Episode 7, yeah, right hands. You go to the room and see what looks like Mamoru having been shot, he was shot. And you decide that you need to save Mamoru because Ada's now holding a gun to Kishi's head.
Dang.
Yeah, shit got serious.
Wow.
So then Mamoru admits to not dating you and says that you're a stranger and he threatened you. You're reaching for the bamboo sword thinking that you're going to be a hero.
Girl, be for real.
Mamoru tells Ada just to kill him already, and you're confused.
Okay.
Yeah. So you do hit Ada and he passes out, but Mamoru yells at you and tells you off because he didn't want to be saved. He was good. I mean, yeah. So Ada's getting up as this conversation is happening, and he tries to attack you, but Mamoru beats the crap out of him again and ties him up.
Okay.
Mamoru does at least thank you for saving him, and then starts interrogating Ada with the gun. And you try to convince Mamoru not to kill Ada, and Ada says one of the sponsors invited him to the auction 4 years ago. I don't know why. Better than me.
Yeah.
I would have been like, kill him. Immediately.
Especially after a man literally tried to... You?
Yeah. So, Kuroshima takes Mamoru to his apartment later on, but tells him he needs to give up on revenge and forget about Minami, because they're dead, and he doesn't want Kishi to die too. Which makes sense. So, Mamoru place looks like a pigsty because he's legit not good at cleaning. For some reason.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, Mamoru ends up falling in pain because he did get grazed. You can't go to the hospital because guns are illegal in Japan. You clean and bandage his wound, and then he falls asleep. As you fall asleep, you feel someone touching your forehead and stroking your head, yeah. While nodding off, Mamoru says he was worried about you and that you're careless for falling asleep and leaving yourself defenseless. Yeah, defenseless at a man's home. That's not something you say right after.
No. Especially not to someone who was nearly by a man.
Yeah, episode 8. The next morning, Mamoru tells you that you're free to go home, and he'll do the rest of the work alone. You ask to stay so you can nurse him back to health, and Mamoru reminds you that you'll be staying at a man's house. Plus, if you go to the hotel alone, if you go back to the hotel, you gotta deal with everyone else alone.
Huh?
So, you start cleaning and chastise him, but he admits Minami did all the cleaning back when they were alive, which makes you jealous. Like, you're jealous of somebody who's been dead for 4 years.
Girl, get your stuff together.
So, it's also been years since this man has seen his own floor.
I just can't imagine. Oh my god.
I can't imagine a room being that dirty.
No. For years. You know,
So, you tell...
my room was like, oh my gosh, I should clean.
So you tell Mamoru he's not allowed to smoke while he's healing, and that he smokes too much anyways. Mamoru but teases you, and says that you can take their place instead, and then steals the smoke back. Steals his smokes back. What is up with me today?
It's one of those days.
A few days later, you and Mamoru plan to go back to the hotel, since he's almost about fully healed now, and honestly, Mamoru believes that Isaac or Baba could have caused Minami's death because Ota joined around the same time as him, so he's just like, yeah, it can't be Ota.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be either Isaac, Soru, or Baba. You're depressed about Mamoru continuing to seek revenge. And then the boys, they're surprised that you're back. But they care more about Mamoru's disappearance than you being back.
That makes sense.
Obviously, because they don't care about you. Baba and Ota notice that y'all are acting real close now. And Kishi shuts that down by calling you a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Isaac says he doesn't give a shit what Mamoru was doing, but he needs to be back and stay put for right now. Because the auction is coming up, and Isaac asks you if you want your job back. With supervision from Mamoru.
With supervision from Mamoru?
I love how they're so nonchalant about you coming back from being in a cult.
They just really don't care.
They don't. So Mamoru allows you to go back to the dorms too, and the next day you go to work like nothing happened. After work, you go to the penthouse and start nagging him like a mom about like his cleaning. And then you ask to go with him and then blackmail him. You realize you're in love with him. Episode died. Mamoru goes to Ayase. We love Ayase. He goes to Ayase to get the files on Baba, which same. That is Baba's stalker anyways.
Yeah. And Baba's secret admirer. He's gonna have everything.
So Ayase talks about Baba for 3 hours.
Ayase.
Yep. He was only in the beginning of his story.
3 hours?
Yeah.
Ayase.
Yeah.
There's better ways to spend your time.
And we find out that Ota only left New York a year ago, so he's only been in the auctions for a year. So, which means Mamoru has only really been in the auctions for a year now, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ayase also ends up getting Baba crossed off like the list by revealing that Baba's an orphan, and tells you that he regularly donates to orphanages, but that's kind of he's a decent dude, so of course he's not selling orphans to a cult. So you're concerned about Mamoru deceiving Ayase, and you're concerned about Mamoru deceiving Ayase.
Yep.
So you suggest that someone may know where he is, and Ayase shuts that down. He's like, no, I don't want to know where Baba is. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to see. I don't want to hear.
Wow.
Because he says that he wants to catch Baba completely on his own and will only arrest him if he's caught red-handed. Yep.
Okay, Ayase. You're just playing the game.
Ayase also admits that he had multiple chances to arrest Baba, but it went against his policy.
Okay.
I mean, they live in the same city, and Baba is not discreet at all, so...
Not in the slightest. I mean, man literally works at a convenience store for fun.
I mean, like, I was... Like, in the back of my mind, I'm just here like, why haven't you caught him yet?
But it honestly makes so much sense if he has, like, a very specific way he wants to catch him. Why man has just let him go.
And what makes me mad is that you almost sold Baba out so quickly.
Yeah. Like, what?
Because you felt bad for Mamoru. Like, if I got sold out by my bestie's girlfriend, we gonna have to fight.
No, for real. We're throwing hands. Immediately.
I'm throwing hands with him and her.
Exactly. They can both catch him.
Because you're not about to sell me out because you feel bad that he's lying to his coworker.
Exactly. Like, what do you think he does?
Like, he lies to his coworkers about the auctions.
Mm-hmm.
He don't need to know about my business too.
Mm-hmm.
So then you guys go to Soru's office, and you meet Ryosuke. Wait, Ryosuke, not Ryosuke. Meeting him calms you down a bit.
Of course, because
he's a puppy.
Yeah.
Soru's confused and on edge because you guys are here at his office. But especially you, because you're like, why are you here? So the leader of AID is the Onizuka Syndicate's boss's son.
Oh my god.
And Soru didn't invite him because Isaac manages all the details of who gets invited, and because he's concerned about the personal relationships between participants, since he's looking for his sister, of course. So, I mean, basically that just crossed off Baba and Soru off the list, and there's Isaac. Episode 10. Mamoru decides that his revenge is against Isaac, and despite never checking if Ida lied, Mamoru plans to get Isaac to show him the invitation list, which Isaac doesn't show anyone the list ever.
Yeah.
You ask if Mamoru is partners with the other guys, and Mamoru pulls a cliche line of, I didn't come here to make friends.
Okay.
Mamoru and his one-liners.
He's a character.
He's a cliche, but at the same time, he does have the best lines.
Yeah.
Him and Isaac both.
Mm-hmm.
Hush, woman. My favorite line of Isaac is telling me to shut up. Don't talk. These stories would be better if you were mute.
Really, though? Because, like, so much would be avoided.
Exactly. So, several days later, you're still thinking about Mamoru to the point that you're messing up at work. You tell Chisato that you can't support your friend on what he's doing despite him working on it for such a long time, and you want things to like work out for him, but you think he'll regret it later on. So Chisato tells you to just be honest and tell him what you're thinking about what you're thinking, and you get called to the penthouse, and Mamoru wants you to distract the other guys while he talks to Aizu.
Okay.
You don't like it, but you still lure them out by saying that you broke another vase. Turns out Isaac did invite Ada, and Mamoru concluded that Isaac sold the information on Minami. You question why Isaac would do it, and Mamoru assumes because Ada had access to minors, and now he's determined to get revenge on Isaac. Which I don't think his sister would have been a minor 4 years ago.
No.
Isn't she like? She'd be
She's
around
age.
Yeah, she's around 23, so she'd be at 19-ish. Which I guess is technically still. I mean, the legal age in Japan is 19, so she'd be just leaving the minor, but like.
Yeah. And it all depends on when, like, her birthday falls.
Yeah. So you ask Mamoru if this is really what he wants, and notes that Isaac trusts him because Isaac willingly gave him the list. Then you tell him that betraying your partners now is the same as betraying Minami. Yeah.
That's low.
So, Mamoru's big plan is to confess about the auctions and make it go public, which means Mamoru is also risking his own career too, but he wants to take responsibility for keeping the auctions a secret.
Yeah.
You hate the auctions, but still you don't want to lose Mamoru and start crying and confess your love to him.
Ew.
It's so sweet. Yay. Episode 11. I'm so done with this.
I don't blame you. I'm not liking this. It's not it for me.
It's boring.
It's boring, and then it's an icky storyline.
Dynamic?
Yeah, it's an icky dynamic.
And then it's like, it's just constantly you beating down his, like, trauma.
Literally. Like, how are you gonna say you're betraying your partners now? It's like you betraying your dead partner. They were never his partners.
Yeah.
He said that.
He literally joined with the intention to put them in jail.
Like, girl, come on. Catch up.
So, episode 11. After you confess to Mamoru, he takes you to the elevator, hugs you, and tells you that you wouldn't be happy with him. And this is the last time you'll be coming to the penthouse because he took the key and the pager. So you end up talking to Chisato and Sakio again the day of the auction, and now you're saying that you think you're in love with him. And they tell you not to give up on him, and if you really loved him, you would find a way to tell him so you don't regret it.
You're already told.
Yeah. So you leave work early with no explanation and go to the Detective Kirishima, and you tell Detective Kirishima everything, even about the auctions. And then you defend Kishi by saying he couldn't help it and he wanted revenge, so that's why it's okay for him to be a part of the auctions.
You just cost that man his whole career.
The funny thing, I hate it so much that you defend Kishi for the auctions, but then throw everybody else under the bus.
Knowing why each and every person is in the auction and why Isaac started them in the first place.
Because, like, even if you don't know what the others are using the auctions for in this storyline, you know why Isaac started them. And so, it just pisses me off that you hate the auction so much, and then you go out of your way to defend Kishi for being in the auctions.
Defend him, but not defend the person who made the auctions and search for his sister.
I just hate this storyline so much. It just... There's so much Kishi apologizing going on. And I'm just here like,
apologize at all.
No. So, turns out Kishi already told Kirishima about the auctions days ago and gave them the info claiming that he wanted to infiltrate and arrest everyone. So, you really want them to spare Kishi from being arrested because he shouldn't have to go through so much pain because he lost someone precious.
Says the one who used that against him.
Exactly. And the fact that Isaac lost someone precious to him, he lost his sister.
Literally. But no, Isaac doesn't matter. What the hell?
The only people who don't have an actual reason for the auction is Ota. Well, Baba doesn't have a reason for the auctions either, but he just does it because he does it.
Yeah.
So literally, if you're gonna send anybody to jail, send Ota, Baba, and Sora to jail.
Exactly.
But then you end up going to Kenzai to let you see Isaac. So Baba and Ota come and get you, and since you can't stop it, you decide that to go to them because your original plan was to tell Isaac to stop the auctions and reveal the bust.
Because that's smart.
That would have been smarter for you to do instead of going to the detective and telling him everything, but...
You're so dense.
So it turns out when you get to the auction, turns out Kishi's being sold in the auctions, and Kuroshima is in a private gallery with the gang. There's no bust, and Kuroshima sold Kishi to the sponsors. Yeah, Mamoru is being sold instead.
I'm so confused.
Why?
I don't know what happened. Like, my brain is not following. Like, why is he being sold?
So when you got to the auctions, the detective that you told everything to, he was in the gallery instead. And now Mamoru is being sold. Episode 12.
Okay.
So Kuroshima sold Mamoru because he wants the auctions to stay a secret. And he disposed all of the evidence of the auctions anyways. So Kuroshima said Kishi betrayed him first for doing all of this. And Kuroshima told Isaac about Kishi's plan. All the guys are pretty much chill with this. And Baba's the one to tell you that if the auctions were ever found out, everyone who has ever sold anything or bought anything in them would go down with the sponsors and the participants. Yep. So then Ota brings up a certain religious that bought police info once upon a time and used it to murder someone. Ada is Kuroshima's biological son. Plot twist. And the Onizuka leader is his stepfather. Yeah, I mean, this plot twist would be more fun if I had any illusion, if I had anything alluding to it.
Yeah, no, this is just like it getting thrown at you.
Yeah.
There was nothing leading up to it, like Kirishima being funny earlier, or Kirishima being like, oh, well, like if Kirishima was more active in the story until now.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's been active in the story, but that was like to just do his job.
Exactly. There was nothing alluding to the fact that he was Ada's bio
cult leader. Yeah, because it's just like, and then it comes out of left field on the second to last episode.
It feels more like just getting like railroaded by something compared to it actually being like exciting and fun. I feel more confused than anything.
Like, we're just tying up loose ends that like came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, even Kuroshima just being the bad guy in itself just it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. At least they didn't do something dumb like make Ryosuke the bad guy.
Yeah. Like, the 3 times that he shows up in the story where he just tells Mamoru to, like, stop it, give up, find a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't really clue me into that he was, like, the bad guy.
No.
He just sounded like a normal person telling you to get over...
Exactly. It's been 4 years.
But yeah, Kuroshima gave Isaac the original info on aid, and Kuroshima sees this as making it for being a workaholic and letting his wife leave him. Yeah. Even the reasoning's trash.
It really is.
You're mad because Kuroshima saving his son is selfish, and Kuroshima calls out Mamoru for doing the same thing with Minami, with covering up the auctions over emotions. So you try to plead with Isaac to stop this, and Isaac starts off by trolling you.
Of course.
Then Hasoru put Kuroshima at gunpoint And Ryosuke and the Ice Dragons arrest Kirishima with Kishi behind him.
Yay, get into it.
Out of the cage.
Woo.
Turns out it was all an act orchestrated by Mamoru to set up Kirishima. The auction was fake and the audience was just all the Ice Dragon members. And the items bidded were just Ota and Baba's personal collection of crap. I'd be mad if I was like there for a fake auction and turned out.
Imagine like hearing there's an auction and you're like, oh yeah, let's go see what's there. And then it's all fake.
Turns out you didn't really buy this. Mm-hmm. What do you mean I didn't really buy it? I came to this black market auction only not to buy anything.
Like, come on. Be for real. Give me that item.
Give me. And then you have Ota and Baba come in and be like, this is from our personal stash. No.
They just leave with it with no explanation.
And it's not like you're going to be able to find Baba. I mean, and then if you get close to Ota, you're screwed because he's a celebrity.
He's a celebrity and a creep.
Yeah. But Mamoru did look more into Aizu but Ada because, Mamoru is smart. Mamoru has a brain.
Mm-hmm.
And found out that Kirishima sold the police information in the first place. He even confronted Isaac about it, and Isaac said he didn't know he sold that. He didn't sell information to Mamoru's arch enemy. And he was already suspicious of Mamoru snooping in the beginning anyways. He was like, thanks for telling me. Now I know why you were snooping.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't going to ask you about it. Was going to wait.
Yeah.
But now I know. So they end up making a bet. After Isaac did his whole tell-all, Mamoru betted that if Kirishima regretted and felt bad for killing Manami, he would have forgiven him for killing him, and he would have, if he arrested Ada and stopped the auctions, he would have been like, yeah, we're good, we're cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the bet was like mostly just of like justice versus selfish emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So if Kirishima didn't regret everything, then Isaac won, and the auctions get to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So if Mamoru won, Isaac would quietly accept the auctions being reported. But if Isaac won, the auctions stayed, and Mamoru stays a sponsor. I don't know why you would bet that, knowing Isaac's streak.
Yeah, I don't know why either, because there's no way Isaac isn't gonna win.
Exactly. So, Kishi was about to kill Kirishima, but you hug him and cry about how he's not a killer and he's caught up in his emotions, and the shot goes off anyways. The good ending, which is the ending I got.
Yay!
I didn't care what ending I got anyways. Kishi shot the wall instead because of you. Because it's what Minami would have said. Yeah.
Wait, so was Manami a guy?
Yeah, he's a guy.
Mamoru's gay.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's not a girl.
Okay.
You're still under the impression that he's a girl, but I mean, like, he never actually told you the gender of Manami.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I didn't care. I just wanted to be able to call Mamoru gay for that.
Funny, because that does come up.
I kind of feel bad now because it's Pride Month. But listen.
So, Mamoru makes Kirishima quit the force and tells him that he has to have nothing to do with Ada ever again. And he agrees. Which, I mean, like, how are you gonna know?
Yeah, no. Unless you stay on his butt 24/7.
Yeah. So, Ota and Baba are checking if Mamoru really wants to keep Kirishima alive, and Isaac and Sora calls him stupid for letting him live. Which, yeah.
Yeah. I would have killed him.
Yeah. So, Mamoru punches Isaac and then forgives him, but he says Isaac is right. He punched Isaac for unknowingly selling the information that got Minami killed.
But he didn't know. Like, that's the whole... Okay.
Yeah. Isaac just laughs it off, and Sora is mad that the bet was even made, since they didn't tell anyone until afterward. Sora's in boyfriend mode.
Yeah.
So, Mamoru still plans to destroy Aid, and in order for Mamoru to agree to a bet, he wanted you free. Aw. For
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I wanted to say aw, but then it dawned on me. This man still talks about you as if you're a child.
Yeah. You're the reason he agreed to the bet. So, Mamoru takes you back to his house to get away from Thing 1 and Thing 2, Baba and Ota.
Yep.
Mamoru is about to confess to you, but you cut him off and talk about how dirty his place is, and he covers by saying he wanted you to clean.
You just need to keep your mouth shut sometimes, okay?
Mamoru still calls you a brat/kid, but you find a photo from 5 years ago and ask who the man in the picture is with him. It's Minami! And you're shocked and confused because he's a man and you assumed he was a girl.
You're so dumb.
Mamoru tells you that Minami is his last name, and you confess that he thought he was in love with Minami, and then Mamoru asks you if you were jealous, and then he kisses you, and then he tells you it wouldn't change his feelings even if he was a woman. You confess again, and then clean his place like a maid. Well, you are a maid, but
Yeah,
you guys fall asleep together, and while you're fake sleeping, Mamoru tells you he loves you, and you bolt up like a dog, which surprises him. You're whining because he won't confess to you while you're conscious, and then you admit that you've always been eavesdropping, and demand he says he loves you. He gives in and kisses you. A happy ending! Oh my god. So Mamoru chastises you for stopping him and then buries his face in your neck, and you tell him that you chose to come here. While y'all argue, the gang watches and determines you guys are dating. Soru does not want to be here. And the rest is dinner and a show for Isaac and Baba. It's always a show for them, watching other people be in love.
Of course.
Watching them argue.
Baba being the hopeless romantic he is, and Izuku just loving the drama.
So then Kishi drags you out because he remembers the guys are there since, they started teasing you guys. But you still think he's in love with Minami.
Oh my god.
The next day, Kishi takes you to the cemetery and Minami's grave, and then lights a cigarette for the guy and he smokes it. But then he has a coughing fit because it's a different brand. He updates Minami on his status as a sponsor and his goals. You're too busy worried about how you don't compare to Minami, and asks Kishi if she was beautiful.
What the hell?
Mamoru is confused because you go on about how he still loves her, and then has the audacity to be, and then you have the audacity to be like, you don't have to hide it, you don't want me. Mamoru's just standing here shocked and confused.
My gosh.
Mamoru explains that Minami's a guy, and he's not gay.
I mean, not even if they were rude.
And then Mamoru calls you a kid for not taking a hint. And you throw a tantrum about him calling you a kid and not taking you seriously.
Well, when
He thanks you for stopping him at the auction and tells you he loves you and he wants you to stay with him. You're surprised because you assumed he would reject you since he pushed you away the last time. You confess. Mamoru's like, why would I let you get involved with any of this shit if I love you? What kind of logic is that? It's dangerous in these streets, man. That's the gist of what he said. I paraphrased.
I can tell. For the paraphrased version.
You're still in denial, and Mamoru tells you this is why you're still a kid. Then y'all make out.
Okay.
After that, you pray for Minami again, and then argue over you trying to get him to say I love you, which makes you question his love. And you throw a tantrum until he holds your hand and you go home. Epilogue 1?
What's that one song? Pedophilia. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, Epilogue 1. You guys are at the casino, and Isaac is waiting again, of course. The gang is starting to hate on him and complain. You're there because Isaac personally made you the penthouse housekeeper and told you to come.
Okay.
Isaac
cool.
is having a party because he got paid $20 million. He got the $20 million he paid for you back, so he wants to have a party.
As if he didn't already have 20 million. Like, let's be honest. We know you just had that sitting in the bank, and you were just like,
That's
hey.
chump change to him.
Exactly.
Mamoru asks why you're in charge of the penthouse. And he's kind of worried because it's you cleaning the other guy's room. He does not want you to be the penthouse maid.
I can tell.
Baba unironically asks you, what do you see in this old man? Yes. And the one closer to 40 over here is asking what you see in an old man.
Mm-hmm.
Mamoru is offended.
Okay.
You guys never been on a date, and Sora's like, and you guys call yourself a couple? The fact that Sora's
over here, like, Sora's over here, like, me and my man have been on more dates than you. Izuku over there, he takes me out every night.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't.
So Baba, being the matchmaker he is, tries to get Mamoru to ask you on a date, and Kishi calls you a kid for wanting to go on a date. I think he finds every kind of reason to call you a kid.
He really does. It's like he's trying to force that narrative.
So you start feeling resentful because nothing has really changed in your relationship, and then you make a bet with him. Which, you're dumb.
You're so dumb.
If you win the bet, he has to take you out on a date, and if you lose, you'll do anything he tells you.
Oh, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. That's not fair.
Baba tries to join in on this little bet, and his prize would be that he gets to go on a date with you. Which pushes Mamoru to agree to the bet. Sora and Aizen make bets on who's gonna win.
Of course. Of course.
They have nothing better to do. Your bet is on roulette. Yeah, you guys decide to play roulette for your bet.
So you're dumb. Okay.
Yeah. You keep losing and everyone thinks you're a terrible gambler. You decide to go all in after getting teased and you lost.
Of course.
Turns out Mamoru has always been a good gambler, too. Instead of telling everyone what he's going to do with you, he takes you outside and offers you to stay the night. But when you hesitate, he rescinds his offer and then leaves. But before he officially leaves, he tells you to clear your weekend schedule because he plans to take you on a date for his win. Because he's nice. You think your date's going to be somewhere really grown up. And Mamoru calls, which is rare, and he just called to call.
Somewhere really grown up?
Yeah.
Okay, he calls just to call.
Yeah. You are a child.
Yeah.
Epilogue 2. So, you think Kishi being in regular clothes is fine? And you're surprised he owns normal clothes. And Mamoru is like, you're a weirdo for thinking I didn't own normal clothes at all.
Yeah.
But okay. So, Kishi didn't plan anything for this date, and he just assumed you had something planned since you wanted to go on the date. Which makes sense.
It does. I find it funny how naive you were to believe that, like, he had this whole thing planned for the whole weekend.
Even though he was literally doing something because you wanted it done, but... So, you're upset he didn't plan for the date, and he's like, okay, fine. So he's about to go home. But you stop him and take him to the aquarium because, the aquarium's not too immature. I like the aquarium.
I've never been to the aquarium. Yeah.
Yeah, don't go to one in here in America.
Why?
Because that's $54 for a fucking ticket.
$54?
Yeah, we just paid $54 to go to the aquarium on Memorial Day.
I've been talking about going to the aquarium, but now...
But that was in Atlanta, so it might be just because it's Atlanta.
Well, I think the Baltimore one is about the same. Because I'm closer to the Baltimore one.
God, no.
Yeah.
But you're super concerned with the date being mature enough and get caught staring at Mamoru. Mamoru starts talking about how tasty the fish look. Not gonna lie, I made the same joke.
Really?
I was like, in the aquarium, I was like, these squid looking a little tasty over here.
Gosh, okay. So you and Mamoru have humor. Gosh.
You think Mamoru is being unromantic and call him an idiot in your head because you won't say it to his face?
Oh, I thought you I thought you said it to his face, and I was about to be like, someone grew a pair of balls, because
I find it funny that you can't take his humor. He was making a joke about how they look good to eat, and you think it's unromantic. He's just being funny.
You see, that doesn't make sense to me. Because if I'm out on a date and someone says something funny, I find that romantic, because I'm like, you got good humor. You go.
Look at that blowfish. Doesn't he look like a good meal?
Can you eat blowfish?
I'm pretty sure you can.
I know there's certain...
You can eat pufferfish.
Pufferfish? I thought pufferfish were blowfish.
Maybe they are. You just have to have it cooked by a special chef, though.
Yeah,
so
that's
they
what
can get out the toxins.
I thought they were poisonous.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, you drag him to the dolphin show so he'll have fun, and you start getting excited because you're holding hands since you thought he would call you a kid if you held hands. Don't know.
I think you getting excited over holding hands makes you more of a kid than wanting to hold hands in the first place.
You end up taking away Mamoru's cigarette and realize that your date doesn't feel like a date. You tell him that he can hold your hand as a substitute for smoking, and he agrees, which surprises you.
This is the same man who said that you can be the substitute for his smoking in a sexual way. Why wouldn't he agree?
Mamoru ends up getting really into the dolphin show after calling it a kid's show. His inner Soru coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins are horrible creatures. I don't know why we still act like they're the greatest things ever.
Because they're pretty.
They are the frat boys of the sea.
They are, but they're pretty.
And they're not that pretty.
That's the only thing I can think of, is that they're pretty. I'm not really fascinated with much sea life. But I'm also terrified of the sea, so it kind of makes sense that I'm not really into sea animals or sea creatures. The only thing I like are jellyfish and starfish.
Remember, I was just trying to... I don't know. I was just wondering why those two. And then I was like, SpongeBob?
No. I wasn't allowed to watch SpongeBob. Jellyfish make me think of Finding Nemo, and then I think of when Dory, bounced on the tops. So that's why I like jellyfish. And I'm pretty sure I like starfish for the same reason, because of the sassy starfish on the tank in Finding Nemo.
I think of getting stung.
I've never gotten stung.
But I've never gotten stung either, but...
What does is someone randomly peeing on me if I get stung. That's what I'm actually scared of. I'm more scared of that than getting stung.
Oh, that reminds me of the Heartbreaker Kid. I watched that movie at 3 a.m. That was a movie.
I don't think I've ever watched that.
It was a good movie, I guess. It's about this dude who ends up marrying this woman he met a week into the relationship. And then when he goes on his honeymoon, he ends up falling in love with another woman. Yeah.
What the hell?
And it's him juggling those two relationships and realizing he doesn't want the woman he married. And then she leaves, the girl he really wants leaves, and then, in the end, he goes to see her again. And she's in a relationship.
What did he... Okay. Anyways, back to Mamoru.
So, Mamoru tells you to just be a kid and be excited for the show. Afterwards, you go back to Mamoru's place, which is slightly dirty, and you complain and clean, and question if he had fun. Why do you always clean his house? Make this man clean his own house.
Exactly. I'm sorry, if every time I showed up it was dirty again, I'd be like, dude, do you only bring me here to clean?
Mamoru tells you, nah, he just wanted to please you. He didn't have fun. So then you freak out about showering and spending the night, and you assume he's going to, sleep with you. Yeah. So, when Mamoru comes out the shower, he's only in a towel but remembers it the last time you freaked out. So he goes back into the bathroom, gets fully dressed in his PJs, and gets in bed and goes to sleep. You chastise him for going to sleep next to you because you weren't dating back then, and he tells you that you were the first person he did that with, and to go to sleep.
Okay.
Go to bed.
He's really just telling you to shut up and sleep. He's had enough of you today.
Bro said he couldn't sleep with your head buried in his chest and then peels you off of him. You think that's mean and get upset, and then you start getting the notion that you're unattractive.
He's just uncomfortable. Let the him be uncomfortable. I sleep terribly if I cuddle with someone. Like, I cannot sleep. But to be fair, the person I have cuddled with is a freaking heater. I swear he has a fever 24/7. I don't know what's wrong with that man. So, like, I get Mamoru wanting
He
his
said, "Get off of me."
Yeah. Especially since he said you were warm before.
You're upset that this man really went to sleep and call him a jerk while he sleeps.
But you didn't want him to sleep with you.
You monologue about how you might not be sexy to mature men like him because you're not a kid. You don't think he's treating you like a real girlfriend, and you kiss him in his sleep and tell him you want him to do that to you next time. Yeah. Yay! Episode 3, we're almost done.
Yay! That's what I'm most excited for. I don't
On your way to work, you guys held hands and you felt so special.
Yippee.
Then Mamoru asked you to go to dinner. You're excited about Mamoru being super nice all morning. When he did kiss your forehead. When all he did was kiss your forehead and then go to work and walked you to the hotel. Literally, he just walked you back to his other home.
Exactly. He's probably gonna go back upstairs and go to sleep.
Yep. I mean, like, y'all were going the same way anyways.
Mm-hmm.
You're embarrassed because Sakio and Chisato saw you with Mamoru, and they congratulate you, but worry a bit about what you have in common with Mamoru. That's why I was like, are you not 25?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're worried about what we have in common?
Because that's giving, like, that concern gives 10-year age gap.
Yeah, and they didn't have the same problem with Baba.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You complain about him treating you like a kid because he never takes you seriously, and you think he prefers someone more mature, then why are you dating him?
Literally. Why?
Mamoru takes you to a bar he took you to on Valentine's Day. And you're still mad about a bet he made with Isaac? I don't know. I have no context with it.
It's normal for these bets to happen. Why are you mad?
Mamoru finally compliments you on your more mature look. And he admits that he sees you as a woman and holds your hand, which flusters you. Yeah. You get upset because he tells you that you act childish in romantic and intimate situations. And Mamoru is confused because he doesn't think he treats you like a child at all. You now think the aquarium is childish as well, and you almost get ran over by a bicycle on the way home.
By a bicycle?
You gotta understand, people in Japan, they're serious about bicycling.
It's a bicycle.
They will run you over. You gotta have a license to ride a bike in Japan.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Your bicycles are registered. And you need a bicycle license. That's why I never got one.
Okay. I did not know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was too much work. I didn't want to go to a bicycle shop, have to go get a license and register my bicycle, and then have to go sell it back to a shop.
So does, like, this apply for scooters?
I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, I mean, like, they will run you over. They don't care.
Dang. Okay.
So, Mamoru chastises you and holds you close and asks you if you want to spend the night at his house again. Your dumbass almost took him up on smoking so you can seem more mature until he says it's a joke.
Didn't you chastise him about how unhealthy smoking is?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I would never. I want to have lungs later on in life.
Yeah, no. Especially... No. No.
You're not going to convince me to smoke just because it looks more mature.
No. I'd rather not get lung cancer, like most of my family.
I'm already getting secondhand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already getting cancer from secondhand smoke.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you finally tell him, which not really, this is like the 50th time you told him, that you don't like being seen as a kid. And Mamoru says he's going to make a woman out of you. And you're rethinking this whole situation now.
Yeah, I would be too.
You're rethinking sleeping with him. So, Mamoru's trying to fuck. And you're asking if he sees you as a child. I mean, as a girlfriend. If he sees you as a girlfriend, not a child.
Okay, I was about to say, if he sees you as a child and he's trying to...
You ask him if he sees you as a girlfriend because he treats you like a child. Mamoru says you are a child and he doesn't mind. And then he tells you to call him by his first name. You think him calling you a good girl and rewarding you is him treating you like a child. Mamoru says he fell in love with you, and so you're not a kid anymore. And then y'all sleep together.
Like, sleep together?
Yeah. Yeah. Afterwards, Mamoru admits that he was awake the other night when you kissed him and called you a pervert. And then you're upset that he faked sleep. Mamoru calls you a kid again because you're inexperienced, pure, and genuine, and he's a lot older and doesn't know what to do with you.
Mamoru, just shut up. Just stop. You are getting yourself a case. Please, stop.
Mamoru tells you he's been worried about the age difference this whole entire time, and that he decided that he's just going to stop worrying about it. And that is how the story ends, the epilogue. Yeah, I can understand why I stopped reading this, and why everything except the cult was blocked out of my mind.
I do too. I can't imagine.
Now that I have it written down, it's going to be stuck in my mind forever. Because, writing things down helps with memorization.
I pray for you. This one was terrible. I hate it. Oh god, I think I cried a little bit. What the hell?
If she's 18, that means sleep.
Oh my gosh. I don't want this anymore. I'm good. Mamoru can go somewhere and stay. Somewhere where I never have to acknowledge his existence again.
We still have a sequel.
No! No, I don't think so. I think his sequel can get locked in a chest underground. Because I don't want to know.
Yeah, I think this is the one time we need to just stop at the main story.
I agree. Because
I'm so glad
how much more it's gonna get.
I'm so glad I didn't read it yet, because if I had read it and took notes on it, we would have been doing it.
Yeah, because I honestly don't think I can sit through that. Not after this.
We'll just skip to the auctioneer.
Hopefully a basement dweller is better than...
Yeah. And then we'll be done, because Mamoru just doesn't have that. Nobody has the will to go through the rest of that.
No. And, if the listeners wanted it, they can read the story themselves.
I paid for it already, so I might as well just go ahead and read it on my own time. Actually, I paid for it. I'm never gonna read it. There's some stories I paid for. I just don't read anymore.
For good reason. For very good reasons. Because this isn't...
I mean, I would understand if the storyline didn't feel like you were, 18 and he's 30.
Yeah, but that's the way it comes off. Even if that's not what the ages are, that's the way it keeps coming off. Is that huge age gap where you're just fresh
out of high school.
Out of high school, exactly.
Even Baba wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
By episode 3, he was already yeah, I don't see you as a kid.
But Mamoru still sees you as a kid, and man is sleeping with.
And plus, when Baba says it, it didn't come off as he actually saw you as a child.
No, it was him making fun of you for things that you did that he also did.
Yeah.
Or immaturity that he also had. With Mamoru, it's he legit sees you as a child.
Yeah.
Literally.
But yeah.
That was Mamoru.
We will not be doing his sequel. I mean, if you really, really beg, maybe 3 weeks from now. If
y'all like to see us suffer, then maybe.
I can come back to it 3 weeks from now, where we'll somewhat forget.
Yeah, and where we'll have a mental break from it, because this was terrible.
I just prefer getting this all over with and moving on to my favorite story in the world, but they got discontinued. I hate Judge for discontinuing it. We get the main story though, so I guess that's great. Yay!
Yay!
I really wanted sequels, but no. They don't love me that much. But yeah. Now I gotta catch a flight in 2 hours. Well, more like 6 hours, but I gotta drive there and then be there 2 hours beforehand. All that.
Yeah, I understand.
I have like an hour before I need to actually leave, but traffic.
Yes. It's always good to plan for traffic.
And I'm hungry. Gosh.
I feel you. I set my alarm so that I would have enough time to get up and eat and be ready. I've never been more mad. I was like, I set it for like 8 o'clock, and I was like, that's more than enough time. I've got this. And then I woke up at like 10:15, 10:30, and I was like,
only for me to angrily message you.
Yeah, I was like, it can't be. It cannot be 10:30. I was like on the verge of tears. I was like, how did I manage this? Like,
you know, I don't mess around about my own sleep.
Yeah.
I woke up early for this.
Yeah. I was supposed to. And I checked my alarm to see if it was on. It was on.
Was it on your phone?
Yeah.
Did you have the sound off?
I don't know. Do I have the sound off? The sound was off. Oh my god. I forgot I turned it off.
How did I know the exact problem?
I don't know.
Because I had it happen to me.
Oh my gosh. I forgot I turned it off. I turned it off because I was with my family last night, and yeah. Oh my, I'm so mad about. Okay, well, have fun catching your flight. Let me know when you make it safe.
Yay!
Yippee!
I ruined your morning.
No, I ruined my own morning, apparently, because I set myself up for failure without knowing I did.
Well, that's it. That was Mamoru's. We'll never read it again unless you really ask us to, but
yep.
Yeah.
But we are hoping to avoid it because that's icky.
With our 9 followers.
Yeah.
You guys don't comment anyway, so.
Yeah, no. So it's fine. If this is one time they comment, I might cry.
Yeah. I also want to say, I will try to do more of like the Switch games, but those are long. They're like, their prologue storylines are like 8 chapters itself.
Yeah, no, because like I know when you send me like screen captures from them, you play them for a while, and it's like you'll spam me with a bunch of screen captures, and I'm like, okay, time to get started. So I can't imagine like how long it is.
Because like if you play it in one go, it should be 30 hours. Yeah, for like all the stories, it's supposed to be 30 hours. But some of those stories drag. I'm still in the common route for one of the 90% of the stories I'm reading.
Jeez.
For Code Realize, the common route storyline doesn't end till chapter 8. Mm-hmm.
Well, more power to you, I guess.
And then I have to go back and read it all over again. Yeah. Because they'll insert little chapters where little cutscenes where you didn't see it the last time. And I'm just here like, I hate this. That's why I've still been playing Code Realize since last year.
Jeez.
And I'm only on the 3rd route.
Oh my gosh.
The funny thing is, I finished Van Helsing's route in like 2-3 days. And Frankenstein's.
You were really into those two, though, compared to the others.
Yeah, I love my glasses wearing men. But yeah.
Alright.
Deuces.
Yippee. Deuces.